Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a hard one today because my friend Megan was one of the victims that were found back when this happened in Lumberton, North Carolina. I'm going to start this video and I'll let you see a few seconds of it, and then we're going to go back to the case.
We begin with breaking news.
A woman's body was found inside the abandoned home.
A second body was found a few hundred feet away in a trash can.
Neighbors are starting to think the worst after a third body was found over the weekend.
They were murdered.
Someone had cut her hair.
We have no death certificate, no cause of death.
We should know something by now.
Does anybody care? Does anybody give a damn?
We sit here every day wondering how'd she die.
And these families are still waiting on police to tell them something. There was not a proper investigation. They say the FBI was involved, but then they put out an article saying that the police and the FBI couldn't determine if the cases were connected. Now, each victim had been found within 500 feet of each other. Okay? They first found, now this is not just these three victims who were involved. There are several more women who have been vanished and missing that haven't been found yet. A serial killer is feared to be stalking a small American town after 3 women were found dead and 2 others vanished in the last 6 months. And there are more than that missing still. The bodies of the 3 women were all found within 650 feet of each other in Lumberton, North Carolina, yet police working with the FBI are yet to confirm if the cases are connected. Abby Patterson vanished just a few thousand feet from where the other women either died or vanished. Her disappearance has helped spark fears a serial killer may be at large. Do you know that the news teams and the newspapers were trying to tell people not to fear anything, don't get upset, don't panic. Police don't think it's a serial killer. What in the hell would you call it then? When more than almost 10 people are missing within a 6-month span in the same location, and bodies are being found in the same street, literally across the street from each other. Now, this is Megan. I knew Megan. Megan was very loving, very sweet. Megan Oxidine was found just a few weeks after giving this TV interview about her friend Rhonda, who was one of the first victims found. Rhonda was found stuffed in a trash can. Rhonda's death broke Megan's heart. Megan was so upset. Megan paid tribute to Rhonda in this news interview. And just a couple weeks later, Megan's found dead. The same exact way that Rhonda, Cynthia, and all the rest are found dead. Naked, bound. Yeah, they're connected. Later, so police, let's go here. Suspicions were emerged in April when police were told of a strange smell coming from an abandoned property, discovered the corpse of Christina Bennett, 32. Police Captain Terry Parker said the scene was the worst he'd ever seen in his 22-year career. Later that same day, the body of the second woman, Rhonda Jones, was found across the street from Christina Bennett in a trash can. Rhonda's friend Megan Oxidine, who spoke to the local TV news station that day, or the day after, and paid tribute to Rhonda, saying she was the sweetest, kindest person she ever knew, was found dead just weeks after giving this TV interview about her friend. Do we really have to question if these deaths are connected? Incredibly, just weeks later, Oxidine's body was found only 500 feet from her friend's body, reportedly naked, bound, and bloodied. Megan's mother suspects that she might have known something about the other's death, which was why she met her grisly end. News of the deaths have sent conspiracy theorists into a frenzy, with forums and Facebook groups dedicating to solving them. To add further fuel to the flames, another 2 women have disappeared in the small town this year. This was Cynthia Jacobs, vanished from Lumberton in July. Cynthia, 41, Abby Patterson, 20, both mysteriously vanished in separate incidents. Cynthia's sister-in-law has claimed that Cynthia was the last person to see Megan Oxidine alive. They're all connected. Do you see this now? Rhonda knows Megan. Megan knows Rhonda. Cynthia knows Megan. Cynthia knows Rhonda. It's all connected. So there's one person who connects all these people. There's got to be. There has to be, which is the killer. This killer had to have known every one of these women, whether it was a dealer, it was a friend, it was an employer, just someone who lives in Lumberton, who lives in that community and is watching everyone. We don't know. How are we going to know until we have a proper investigation? They have barely scratched the surface, and the families have nothing to they've gotten no information at all from police. It is believed that all the women involved have suffered from a drug addiction, and this has led people to wonder whether a drug or prostitution ring might have been behind the deaths. It don't give nobody the right to kill them. Whether they were addicts, prostitutes, that is not a damn excuse to ever kill anyone. The killer deserves prison. This killer has done every one of these women the same way, the ones that were found. We don't even know about the ones that vanished, but they've not come back. And this has been a few years now. It's 2021. So here we go. Some are also thinking the unsolved murders of the two women whose bodies were found in Lumberton 7 years ago. Lisa Harden, 36, Michelle Dragers, 23, were found beaten and badly bruised within a mile of each other, and both were known prostitutes. At the time, Police Chief Robert Grice had told the Robinson that it could be coincidental or it could be that someone is out targeting prostitutes. Police have not released any details on the dead women and have not formally linked them with each other, the disappearances, or the 2009 murders. The silence has only fueled further speculation among local residents who fear for their safety, with the very real possibility of an active serial killer threatening the small town of 21,000 people. Parker has confirmed that the three dead women were known to be on the street, unlike Jacobs and Patterson. They can still be connected, whether they were prostitutes or not. They could be friends. Let me tell you something. Just because if I take a pain pill, that doesn't mean that I'm a prostitute. Just because if I'm a prostitute, that doesn't mean I'm a drug addict. If I go rob Walmart, that doesn't mean I'm a prostitute. But I could still be connected to these women, even though I don't do the things that they do. Now, with the police in North Carolina, southeastern North Carolina, if they think that if they know your friend is a drug addict, they assume you are too. If they think that you're not a drug addict, but your sister is a drug addict, and you both die at the same place at the same time, they'll say it's not connected because she wasn't a drug addict and she was. How the hell do you get that? But that's how it is there. These small towns, that's how it is. They will sit there and tell you, no, they couldn't have been killed by the same person because she wasn't a prostitute, but she was. And she wasn't a drug addict, but she was. That has nothing to do with it. This killer could be killing prostitutes, drug addicts, Walmart robbers, a bank teller, grocery store worker, a school teacher. That person could just be targeting what they can get their hands on. Whether it's easier to grab this person compared to that person, you can't sit here and say that it's only connected if they're all drug addicts. It's only connected if they're all prostitutes. And that's how they act there. And it drives me crazy. And that's why they can't solve half the freaking cases they have, because they're so close-minded. They had a senator, R.C. Souls, who was, I have to say allegedly, but I know this because I seen it, who was molesting young boys. And he was giving boys, teenage boys, up until, grown men too, was giving them money for sex. And I'm not lying about that. If you go on YouTube and look up R.C. Souls, Tabor City, he actually shot one of the guys who was strung out and tried to break into his home. Very, very bad situation. Well, that's RC's side, anyways. RC claims the boy was strung out. Now, everyone that I know that knows the boy said he wasn't strung out, but RC owed him money. But that's here or there right now. But that senator still has not been arrested for any of the sex crimes or anything. So, it's how it is. They have not released details. He is 99% sure that the disappearances and deaths are unrelated. Oh my gosh, I can't. However, with no physical evidence linking the murders, police and the FBI are very much on the back foot. What do you mean? They were found across the street from each other the same way. I get it. There could be a copycat. They're not taking this case seriously. They never do. That's why I left. These police officers are so crooked. Not all of them. Some of them are so crooked. I used to have a friend back in my drug past who was a dealer, and he sold to police officers. The very same police officers who would bust your tail for drugs. These police officers would keep evidence. You think they brought it up in court? No. Because we had a small town courtroom that whatever they said goes. And there was no questions asked. We're gonna look into this some more.